Not too much, just like that there's the two different types, and that's pretty much about where my knowledge goes.
Um, Diabetes basically, so when sugar level rises or sometimes it goes out of control when the pancreas, I guess,
Yeah.
stops making the natural insulin, so it just messes up the sugar level. That's all I know about diabetes.
I know diabetes is like it's dangerous, and there are two different types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2.
In people with type 1 diabetes, they're missing the key that lets glucose go into the cell. So they're not really able to use the energy that their body has inside of it well. With type 2 diabetics, the key that they have doesn't work properly. So they have a key, but when it tries to lock into the cell to allow the glucose into the cell, it just doesn't really open up the door properly. So it needs some help, and that's why people with type 2 diabetes take different medication than people with type 1 diabetes. People with type 1 diabetes need to give themselves the key. They need to inject the insulin into themselves to help the glucose get into the cell and to help their body use the energy that they have.
Insulin injections.
Okay.
Well, an imbalance in people's bodies with insulin and the blood sugar levels in their body.
Then I'd be like, okay, like, what's wrong with diabetes?
You're probably well aware of all the constant awareness that it demands and
Yeah.
the adjustments you have to make to the things you eat and the planning ahead for activity and stuff like that, and not getting out and going for a 4-day hike without thinking about what you're going to take.
I wouldn't really know how to react very well. Just feel like try and get help for it and like give you the resources to help with it. So
I think most people see diabetes as a disadvantage because it does provide a challenge with how you live your life. But personally, I don't see it as a challenge, I see it as a privilege because I've been introduced to opportunities that I don't think I would have seen if I had not been diagnosed. And I was diagnosed when I was 11, so I was old enough to understand the severity of what was wrong with me, but not young enough to have known no other life without diabetes. I really had to gain an awareness of my diabetes and how it affected my activity, or how my activity affected my blood sugar, and how to manage that, and also how to explain it to people who didn't understand the influence of the two on each other. Because understanding diabetes is one thing, but understanding activity with diabetes is a whole new realm of understanding.
Being diagnosed at 12, I kind of knew what it was already like to feel normal and to have great blood sugars. So to me, it felt very different, as kind of like a privilege, I guess, knowing what a regular sugar was as opposed to some kids who don't know. And so that way it's been easy for me to determine my lows or my highs, and that if I don't feel okay, my blood sugar is probably out of range.
One of the biggest factors in helping me live with my diabetes has been the community that I've made with people that have become really some of my closest friends that share this experience with me. When I was younger, it was really, that was taken over by my parents, that role, but now that I've become more independent, it's been so helpful to my growth as a person to really see how other people have gone through the same issues as me, especially people that are slightly older than me and have gone through the same things, and they learn from me as much as I learn from them. It's just a great experience.